Hello friends, are you curious where IEC is going to happen and what's going to happen? Bear with me in the next few minutes. I'm sure you have already seen the program, but just in case if you have not, we posted all the program by now. So you can check out what's going to happen live in Budapest and what's going to happen on Zoom. And also here you can see what you get when you participate online. And also in the other column here, what you get as a plus, all points of the online participation plus. So the invitation is here. You can come to Budapest Live, and also all the keynote speakers and the speakers, the presenters are now posted. You can check them out at the presenter gallery, the main website. Around 100 people are coming to present at this time, and around 500 to 700 will participate both online and live. And if you come to Budapest, make sure you stay another 3 days with us and come to the integral sightseeing tour, because that's the way you are going to see the essence of the culture, of history, of spirituality, of Central Europe, of Hungary. We are going to get you into places where tourists are not always getting. For example, let me just briefly scroll here. We are going to meet the world's leading Han archery master, Lajos Kassai, who is a big supporter of the integral movement and who has the ancient tribal ways of the warrior. We are going to meditate in the forest in a sacred spot that the locals consider a power place. It's called Dobogó Kő. I personally will lead a meditation down at the Danube bank with all of you and up here on the mountain. Hello friends, do you have a few minutes? I want to show you the part of Budapest where IEC 22 Hybrid is going to be. This is Hotel Marriott, where we rented the conference hall up on the first floor. Here is the Danube, the beautiful Danube promenade, where I'm walking now in the absolute downtown center of Budapest on the Pest side. So let's have a look at the neighborhood, let's have a look at some restaurants, the vibe. Join me for the next couple of minutes. Look at this magnificent city from this viewpoint up in Gellért Hill. When you are looking down, on the left you see that castle area, that's the Buda castle, and the right that is Pest. Here you see Buda and Pest. It's actually two cities that were united in the 19th century. Since then we call it Budapest. And this is the scheme. In the middle there's the Danube River. Look at this picture from the 17th century when an Italian cartographist depicted Buda Castle and depicted Pest as a small town surrounded by a wall, and the big Danubio, in Latin it was Danubio, in English it's Danube River, splitting the two. Do you want to know how we call it in Hungarian? We call it Duna. So for us is the Duna folyó, the Duna River. And then in the 19th century, they connected the two with this bridge. This is the most defining view of Budapest, one of the most defining views, Chain Bridge. Here you can see the head of Chain Bridge from the Pest side. Beautiful two lions representing the power and this ancient architectural wonder with the castle hill of Buda in the background. Here you can see the Chain Bridge lit up at night, and here the same with the Parliament building at the back. Since then, of course, Budapest has grown into a metropolitan city of Europe, Central Europe, the most important city of Central Europe, with 7 bridges altogether that you can see here in a brief snapshot. And here is the map of Budapest. This is how it looks today, which you see number 1 and 5, that used to be the old Buda and Pest, and all the rest is the new kind of in the last 150 years, it's grown into a huge metropolitan city. And the pink areas, the pink districts, are the ones that are interesting for tourists, especially 1 and 5, that is the downtown area or the central city center. And the gray ones are not so interesting, more industrial, more suburban. So how do you know if you are in Pest or in Buda? If you are in Pest, it's all flat. If you are in Buda, it's hilly. So this picture shows you Hotel Marriott, where IEC is gonna be, and the streets surrounding it. And this is all flat, and look at this one. This is a typical downtown Pest area. And this one too, with Basilica at the background, the main cathedral of Hungary. Or this one, where you see actually the Budapest Major going to work on bicycle. And also Pest has the Hero Square, one of the main monuments to see, that we are going to, of course, we are going to visit all this in the tour after IEC. And here is the Parliament building, beautiful one, very special, one of the biggest Parliament buildings in Europe. And here you see the Parliament building at night. Actually, when the band Queen was visiting Hungary and giving a concert in Budapest, they didn't know what is this building, but they loved it, so they wanted to buy it. So they asked the locals, can we buy that beautiful building? And they let them know, dude, this is the parliament of the country, it's not for sale. And when you are in Buda, you will know, because it's full of hills and greens. Here you see the castle. Castle is the defining view of the Buda area, just on the banks of Danube. And you can also see here from the other side with the chain bridge, and you can see the castle at night. It's so beautiful. It's really like a gem, like a lit up gem at night. And one of the most special part of the castle hill is this one, Fisherman's Bastion, at daytime, at nighttime. And the castle is just a small portion of Buda. It's spread out all over. So the minute you see a slope going up or a slope going down, you know you are in Buda. This is how a typical Buda part looks like. Actually, my apartment is also at this area. So hills, green, good air, less pollution, less noise, more quiet, more gardens. And here you see a more upscale part of Buda. Here another one, this is the Rose Hill. So this is the kind of typical Buda part, greens, hills, nice nature, quiet, good air, or tranquility. All right, and that was your beginner course to understand Budapest basics. Now let's have a walk. At the bottom of Marriott Hotel, there is also a Starbucks. You can grab your Americano here. And here I show you the magnificent river of Europe and the old train and the castle district up there in Buda. That's the Buda side over there. This is the Pest side. And this is a university area, a downtown area, a tourist area full of restaurants, and it's a fun place to be. This area of the city is the downtown center of Budapest, and this is where you want to hang if you want to feel yourself being in the heartbeat, at the epicenter of the city. It's called Váci utca area. It's full of restaurants, and it's a shopping street, and it's exactly 1 minute walk from IEC venue, the Marriott Hotel. So, if you are curious about the prices in Budapest in terms of eating a lunch, eating a dinner, so you can have your lunch typically and comfortably between 8 and 15 euros. And here in the touristy area that I was just showing you, typically the prices are double. So you can consider a meal here is considered a soup and then a main dish. Then the two combined here in this area would be anywhere between 10 and 20 euros. And if you are happy to walk 5 to 7 minutes from the conference venue, you will reach another part of the downtown area, which is super cool. That's the absolute favorite of the young tourists, the party tourists, the international backpackers. So kind of a more loose, more young vibe, with totally full of restaurants, even way more than in the Váci area. And the prices are also more realistic. Then you will go to the so-called Gosdú udvar, Gosdú court area. I'm walking there now, and I will show you in a minute. So here we are at the Gosdú udvar area. Let's look around. Let's have a look. Come on, guys.
Tá falando sério? Mas por quê?
If you are not a vegetarian, but if you love meat, then here you find all kinds of Hungarian meat dishes, typical, local, and these are the pickles that we love to eat with them. I myself am a vegetarian, so I left behind this when I was 20 plus. But if you're not a vegetarian, then come and enjoy traditional meat dishes. Here you can see the prices. It's €1, between 1 and 1.5 euros for any sorts of teas. And the bagels or hummus there, it's like €2. So this is more like a realistic local place with very cool hip vibes. It's still the Gosdú udvar area. So Budapest is a very safe city, way lower crime rates than Paris, London. As a tourist, you'll have a very safe time, cool time. As a woman, you can wander around alone, it's not even a question. So you'll be safe. And here we are at this Grand Synagogue of Budapest. It's not only the Grand Synagogue of Budapest, but the biggest synagogue of Europe. The biggest synagogue of Europe, and this place is called Herzl Tivadar tér, the square of Herzl Tivadar. Herzl was the one who created the idea of Israel. So actually the idea to create a country was born on that building next to the synagogue. That's where Herzl was born, and this was his area in downtown Budapest, and then he created the conception of Israel. We are approximately 5 to 8 minutes walking distance to the IEC hotel. Between Váci utca and the Gosdú udvar area, we have the Budapest Eye, and around the Eye, this is the hippest area now for the youngsters. A lot of teenagers sitting around and doing skateboarding. And this area is called, two squares are merging here. This part is called Erzsébet Square, like Elizabeth Square. This is where one of the main concert venues are. I'll show you in a minute. It's called Gödör, which means the pit, because it's a pit in the middle of the city. And The other part over there is called Deák, and that's the one of the main physical centers of Budapest, because all the underground lines, the metro lines, meet only in one place in the city center. That is here in Deák. Tér means square. In Budapest we use forints, Hungarian forints, HUF. That's the local currency. We don't use euro here. So here you see the exchange rate. So it's between 300 and 400 forints for €1 and $1 USD. If you want to be free and go anywhere and pay anywhere, you need to change to forints, which is very easy. There are ATMs all around, and there are change kiosks which are trustable and have the same currency rate. Just don't change money at the airport. That's a real rip-off. You will feel when you are here, then you are in a very special part of the world. It's not the same feeling as in Vienna or Paris or London or Rome. So there's similarity, but there's also difference. And it comes from the people. And I think the collective field that's defining a city. It's not just physical architecture, but it's also a collective field and a felt sense that you immediately get when you are somewhere. And the main characteristic here, it's Central European and Eastern European. Central Eastern European is that people use their heart space more. So the heart is more open here. There's kind of a deeper connection or balance between heart and mind. And people use their emotions more, they express more love. In simple terms, in Central Eastern Europe, people are warmer and also a bit emotional to Westerners, sometimes more than they get used to. And the Western Europeans are usually more closed and reserved emotionally and more in the head, with the advantage of having more organizing, more clarity, focus, organizing capacities. When you walk around in Budapest, you will feel this heart-centered, relational, connected, grounded sense.